I'm here with my chum David in Lurgan, and we're just going to take a look at his vegetable and fruit and flowers flower garden, but mostly vegetables here. Now, David, what are these here? These are...
Well, these are just some young kale plants.
Kale?
I'm bringing on, and some spring cabbage.
Right.
Planted out quite soon.
Right.
Some strawberries here, with lots of runners coming out from them.
Right.
And
will you propagate new...
Oh yes, I'm making new plants from those.
Right, okay.
And these are mostly herbs, rosemary, sage, and French tarragon there.
Would you use these?
Oh, I use those in cooking very much.
Right, okay.
And there's a couple of courgette plants.
Yes, I see them coming on.
Nice
yes, I see that. Yeah,
coming on nicely.
Right.
And just a few lettuce of Lullerosso and a green one as well.
What type are these now?
I think the red one's called Lullerosso.
Red.
They're sort of crinkly type red lettuce.
Right.
And some leeks there.
And at the back.
At the back, you can't see them too well.
Right. And these are.
This is sprouting broccoli.
Right.
It's takes a little volume, not much produce, but
right. So
you good.
Yes, I
just
see
a variety of it. Really.
Yes, that's a nice head there.
This is a nice head. That's right. And these are broad beans, or fava beans, the Americans call them.
Right.
And sugar snap peas.
Right.
Very nice, cooked or raw in a salad.
What would you use or recommend to be used as a fertilizer? What would you use on these?
Well, these are growing largely on cattle manure, really.
Right.
Which got a load of
rotted.
A trailer load, well rotted, and there's no other fertilizers. Really. I use a bit of bloodfish and bone sometimes, but it's mostly just cattle dung, really.
Right.
And some beetroot.
Right.
Ready for harvest, actually.
Right.
My spinach all shot. So these are some new plants I've planted just to take over from those.
Right.
And this is a first from me. This is sweet corn. It's growing. Maybe not quite as tall as an elephant's eye, as they say in the song.
Where's the sweet corn
again? The cob there.
Right. And how long will that need to be left for?
I really don't. I have to check.
So you're just a wee bit of experimentation
yes,
here.
Very much so.
Which is a bit of fun.
Absolutely. And some rocket.
About this apple, this is a Cox's.
This is a Cox. It's
orange pippin.
Cox's orange pippin.
Yes. Well,
that is the classic English apple. To me, it is everything. It is sort of. There's a sweetness to it. There's a sourness to it. It's simply the best apple imaginable, I think. A wee bit of disease, I think, not doing so well. But over here, this is a Fiesta, and that was the apple juice, pasteurised apple juice you drank at lunchtime. What is there?
Oh, lovely! Yes, we had this.
Yes, I think it's a grandparent, or one of its grandparents is a Cox. There's Cox in the blood, you know.
We had this for apple juice at lunch. So you mulched that down and squeezed it, or what?
Yes, and then it was pasteurised in a water bath.
And how long? Pasteurised in a water bath.
Yeah.
And what happens after that?
Well, it's you see, it keeps. That was 2 years old. The stuff you drank.
Yes, all right.
And,
okay.
You pasteurise it at about 60 degrees for maybe 15 minutes or so, and then it keeps indefinitely.
It keeps indefinitely. And these here are.
These are gooseberry. At the end there's a blackcurrant bush.
Yes. But these gooseberries remind me of my childhood, because the people next door to us, they had gooseberries, and we called them goose gabs.
Oh yes.
And we used to fire them at each other.
Yes.
Oh dear.
The only thing you've got to watch these, there's a parasite called the gooseberry sawfly.
Yes.
Caterpillars.
Yes.
Which tend to eat the leaves a lot. These are fairly free.
Right.
But this is a new variety I've got here, which is done quite well.
And you have picked all those already?
I picked them all off.
Right.
This is a Japanese variety.
Right.
Hinakami Red, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure, but it's a very good one. Very
right.
One. This is some raspberries that I just got as what they call long canes.
Yes.
Single canes, and they have produced really quite a bit of fruit. It's nearly all finished now. There's a few in there.
Yes, we enjoyed it for lunch there.
Yeah. And then the new canes, which will bear fruit next year, come.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I'm just trying this for the first time. This is a long, tapering white root vegetable called salsify. They say it tastes like oysters, but I don't know about that, but it's supposed to be very nice.
Well, if it tastes like oysters, it'll do well. Yeah. Right.
And this is a red currant bush, which now has been picked, and we've made red currant jelly from that.
Right.
It's very prolific, about £7 of fruit off that.
Wow, £7.
And just small. And here's some plums that are starting to colour a bit.
Oh yes.
So there, yeah.
Love plums.
Yeah. So yeah. And then there's a sort of a double twin cordon. There are 4 arms in this cordon apple, not long planted really, but there's a few coming on that side.
Right.
That's that one.
Right.
Well, yes, over here, I call this my Franken pear, after Frankenstein, because this was an espalier pear that was full of canker.
Yes.
So basically, I cut the arms off it,
Right.
and I got some science little shoots from some friends of mine that grow various kinds of pears. So there's about, I think, 4 varieties in this.
4 varieties, all mixed.
I grafted in.
Grafted in.
So you get a variety. There's the original conference, and then there's one of an unpronounceable French name, and a couple of others as well.
Yes.
So you can see there's quite a difference
Yes,
in the
I can
actual
see that.
different branches. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of fun again. Nobody else has a pear tree like this.
Well, some do, mate.
Yeah.
And again, there's a couple of cordon apples in the corner there as well. Not much fruit, but they're starting to grow. They're not long planted now. It's only the second year they started to produce anything.
Yes.
So you roll them at an angle, it helps to produce more fruiting.
And there's your colossus. That you would use the colossus, what, propagating, eh?
Well, it's just for bringing things on, but it isn't much use at the moment, just to
I know.
keep the barbecue charcoal dry at the moment.
Right. Right, we'll go over and see your... Oh, what's these again? Figs.
These are figs. They produce maybe 20 or 30 figs. There's some coming on there.
Oh, right.
But the little ones can overwinter and then develop the next year. But usually there's some will ripen in any given year as well.
Brilliant. And here's more.
The wisteria there just above your head.
Yes.
That just needs to be trimmed back now. But that produced a beautiful curtain of lovely flowers in the spring there a while back.
Yes.
It's very vigorous, as you can see, and big long shoots have to be trimmed off.
Yes. What are these again?
This is a green gauge. These are very delicious.
Oh, sort of a
really,
plum.
Yes, a sort of dessert plum, very sweet.
Right.
The sweetest honey.
Right. And you'll use all this in cooking and,
Well, I hope
and all
so,
the
yeah.
rest.
And this is, I've tried this. This is
A grape?
grapevine. Not very big now, but they may ripen in due course. I don't know.
Well,
just an experiment.
in this summer heat, you might be a wee bit more successful than maybe other years.
And this is a James Grieve apple tree.
Right.
It's a nice red apple. They're pretty stunted at the moment, maybe it's so dry, but it produces lovely red apples.
Would you lash the water onto these? Would you?
No, I don't water them at all.
Do you not?
Oh, that's in so deep it probably gets enough water to do it.
Right. Okay.
This is another green gauge tree needs a bit
Yes.
of attention.
Right.
It's some disease in that, have to be well trimmed and pruned out of it.
Right. Okay. So not without its difficulties.
No.
And this over here is an interesting one.
Well, this is a walnut tree. It's actually a grafted walnut tree, which I bought about 10 years ago. And that is one that I missed. I'm really growing it not for the mature nuts, but to pickle the green nuts. And this is one that I missed. But you pick these about the end of June or early July before the shell inside starts to form.
Right.
I usually pierce them with a pin to make sure there's no shell. Then they're brined in salt water for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And left in the sun to dry. They go totally jet black, and then pickled with brown sugar and vinegar. Really delicious if you like pickles.
I know.
So,
This is a wonderful setup. And
this is a hazelnut tree.
Right.
It's a filbert, or it's called Radius Kentish cob.
Right.
And this produces lovely long sweet hazelnuts in the autumn.
right.
Hopefully.
Right.
Yep.
And you've been here what?
25 years.
25
now,
years.
That's right.
And
This is wood for the wood burner. I have to get
Right.
the chains out to that. And again, this is a pear tree. Not very productive this year. It needs a lot of pruning and training. There's 2 or 3
yes,
plums, not very
yes,
much.
Yes, see them there, and then apples again.
So this is a standard good Ulster Bramley apple. There's too many in that there. I pull that one off.
Ah.
But this last year produced about 50 good, big, large Bramleys.
Yes, yes.
And it needs a wee bit of pruning and touching up. But you've got to be careful with this particular variety because most apples bear fruit on spurs that you prune back to a spur.
Yes.
But Bramleys also produce on the tips. They're known as tip bearers. They're partially tip bearers, so you don't want to cut off too many of the tips, otherwise you lose fruit. But there's quite a lot. I mean, you can see it even a very small tree.
Absolutely.
It's very prolific.
Rose here is golden
showers.
Showers.
And it's particularly aromatic.
That's a lovely rose.
It's a lovely rose, yes indeed. It's a climber, partial climber.
Beautiful.
And I just saying to your wife too, I've one behind the back door which hasn't really flowered yet, but I think it was Rose of the Year last year. It's called Scent from Heaven.
Right.
That's SCENT.
Right.
And it's supposed to be aromatic. Because a lot of the modern roses are totally without fragrance, and to me, that's
A rose without fragrance,
Oh,
you know.
It's no good. I love it. It's not, you know.
Ah, absolutely. Lovely. Whenever you pass someone's garden, you never know what is in their garden as regards fruit and vegetables and flowers. And it's like people's front door. You never know what's behind the front door. And this is a wonderful garden, as we have seen, that my mate Dave and Anne have for their retirement. It's wonderful. Brilliant, David. Thank you very much.
No bother.
No, super duper.